For cat work, you want to be prepared for any situation, but you also don't want to be hauling around extra gear that you never use. Ladders are no exception. This episode of Adjuster TV is sponsored by the Elite Adjuster Method and by APadjusting.com. So is there one ladder that can get you on any roof? Is there a combo of a couple of ladders that covers everything? Let's talk about the different types of ladders. There are 4 basic types of ladder that we might consider: a step ladder, a folding ladder, a telescoping ladder, or an extension ladder. Each has pros and cons, of course, and you can find adjusters carrying around any of these ladders in their car or truck. Let's start with the step ladder. At first glance, you'd think that this was a poor choice for a cat adjuster, and in general, I would say that it is. However, I know a few adjusters who carry a small step ladder so that they can access weird roofs that have little hop-ups or small double pulls, and we'll talk about ladder safety in another video. But overall, the form factor is awkward, and a 16-foot version will be a pain in the neck to carry around and deploy. So as a specialized tool for special situations, an adjuster can carry around one of these ladders in addition to their other ladder or ladders. But as we move down the list, we might see that doing this is unnecessary. Number 2, folding ladders. Every adjuster starts with a folding ladder. I did back in the day. Many adjusters prefer a folding ladder and won't use anything else. So some of the pros of a folding ladder are that it folds up, it can fit in most car trunks and really any SUV or pickup truck, and it can be brought inside a house to access attics. Folding ladders are heavier than any other type of ladder. They have quirky latches that make it dangerous if they're not all latched out properly. They can be more expensive, and I find that they're not as durable or reliable in the long term. A folding ladder is not a bad choice. After an adjuster gets really familiar with their folding ladder, they can usually get them set up in just a few minutes. The drawbacks for adjusters of smaller stature are that they can be a lot heavier than another style of the same length. Also, the joints of the ladder require some lubrication occasionally to keep them from seizing up. And like I said, I ran with a folding ladder for years and years. It's not a bad choice. Number 3 is a telescoping ladder. You wouldn't catch me within 10 feet of one of the early versions of the telescoping ladder. They were very wobbly, and the longest one you could get barely peeked over the gutter on a 1-story, which made them scary and dangerous. And I dismissed them for a long time. But there have been some improvements over the years, and these little ladders can be easily tossed in the smallest trunks or back seats, carried inside a house for attic access, and are still a great option for most suburban neighborhood roof inspections. And finally, number 4, the extension ladder. A friend of mine started carrying a 16-foot lightweight aluminum extension ladder that when I first saw it, I was like, that thing looks like a piece of junk. He said, pick it up. It was light as a feather. He was tired of lugging around a heavy folding ladder that cranked his back every time he pulled it out of the back of his SUV. So he switched to the extension ladder and hasn't looked back. And then I did the same. I ran through several versions before I settled on a 24-foot aluminum version with a 225-pound weight rating. So this is what I run with: 2 aluminum extension ladders, a 24-footer and a 32-footer. There's not a roof I can't get on these days. The great thing about the 24-footer is that I can get on all but the highest 2-story houses, and most of the time I don't even need to extend it on 1-stories. I just lean it up against the house and start climbing. I don't currently own a telescoping ladder, but I'll probably pick one up when I'm doing a lot of daily stuff this winter, just as a backup. 2 of the big drawbacks of the extension ladder is that they can rattle and howl at highway speeds, and they can also be a pain to store when you're home and you don't want to have a ladder on your car all the time. So what do I recommend for new people? I would say to start with an 18-foot plus folding ladder. If you search for multi-position ladder in Amazon, you'll find a lot of options. The reason I say this is because it's going to be the most versatile option when you're getting started, and some of you may not have an SUV or pickup that you can carry extension ladders, plus they take up little space in your garage. If you really get into cat work, then you can experiment with other options and see what works best for you. You can also check out my gear list and recommendations at adjustertv.com/resources. Thank you so much for supporting Adjuster TV, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Don't forget to share this with somebody you think it might help. Like, share, and subscribe. And thanks again for watching, and have a great storm.